Sometimes when you're forced to sell something because you're desperate and you need money, sometimes somebody will make an offer on something and it's a good offer and you can't refuse it. That's what happened with Flash. I can't remember the context of the situation. I just knew I needed money and I didn't want to sell off my Joes. Somebody asked me if I had Flash, and I sure enough did. And they made an offer, and it was a lot higher than I would have expected. It was really weird. And I really needed the money, and I sold him. And I regretted it for a long, long time. Because I really liked Flash. Flash was one of my favorite of the original 13 because he was different than everybody else. Okay, granted, Grand Slam does the same thing. Has the same weird pads on him. And they're almost even the same color. So, that's true. But of the single carded figures, Flash was the most different. And plus he had the name, Flash. He was king of the impossible. Or was he the fastest man alive? Anyway. He's a laser rifle trooper. And that was kind of cool back then because it's like, oh, a trooper with a laser rifle? That's kind of awesome. And you always just kind of dug that scene where he just holds up the rifle, boom, and he starts melting whatever the hell it is he's melting. I always imagined it was some kind of security thing for Cobra. Flash didn't see a lot of action in the TV show. I'm pretty sure he stayed mostly a background character. And I don't even think we saw Grand Slam in the cartoon show either. He's played a slightly bigger role in the comic, but that was a comic. So, And usually the parts he played, you actually didn't see much of him after the later years came in, like 83, 84. It was all the newer characters, so yeah, he did get kind of lost in the shuffle. Still always liked him, and I'm really glad I got him back in my collection. 25th anniversary Joes. Some of these early ones, they have some issues. His arms don't quite bend all the way that they should. The articulation had not been totally worked out. Still, I thought they looked good. I thought there was potential here. And I did like that aspect. His torso joint, which to me was really weird in those days. I was not a fan of the torso joint, especially the way it looked. As you can see here, it just breaks up those pads on Flash's chest. And you do have to kind of like the old school Hasbro logo on the belt buckle, though. That's fun. Still, Flash is a cool character. Now, this one that I got was in the box, but has a few issues. For some reason, I cannot get the wire to connect to his backpack. I push it and it just kind of doesn't want to go. Not something I ever encountered with the original Flash, and not something I encountered with my other anniversary Flash. So I'm a little confused on what's going on there. But the rifle itself looks good. It looks pretty much like the old school one, as does the backpack. So there's that going for it. He's got double jointed knees, which is awesome. And he does have some ankle articulation, but the pants that come down do kind of limit what he can do. That's okay because he has the stirrup pants anyway, right? I wonder what they'll try to do with this version of Flash in Classified. I'd imagine they'll do just a redo of all this stuff because as much as, we tend to think, we want to add new stuff. Let's face it, this looks better as Flash. They did another Flash for Rise of Cobra, and I honestly thought he looked more like a flamethrower. I didn't like the design. It was not Flash to me. It might have been. It might have even been Pursuit of Cobra. It might have been. Yeah, no, it was Rise of Cobra. I'm pretty sure. Boy, good job doing research before you start talking about stuff. On my anniversary Joes, though, this was the one I regretted selling. and I'm really glad to have him back. While a lot of these are a bit pricey, some of them are not, and I found this one pretty reasonable. Less than a Delta 17 figure, we'll say that. That's not knock the Delta 17 at all, but at the same time, be honest. I do have a couple more holes to fill in my anniversary collection. Some that I sold off and now regret. Some I just never had and I kind of want them now, kind of thing. So yeah, I'll be doing that for the next year or so. Just trying to fill in those gaps, trying to get good deals on them, because you know how people do. They try to charge you an arm and a leg, right? Well, we'll find out. But anyway, I'm really happy to have Flashback. Love the detail on this. I love the pads and the padding there etched in. Really cool. And of course, the green and the orange just make it work. And I mean, he was one of the few Joes of the original 13 to have any kind of color other than olive drab. And of course, I always liked the visor. I thought that just made it work, because it's like, oh, he has to have that visor because otherwise he'll go blind if he shoots that laser. But what about all the people around him? Oh well. And, of course, the removable helmet. He's always been a fun character to me. I always just enjoyed, that sci-fi aspect of him. He's not too sci-fi, not a knock to sci-fi. I actually like sci-fi, but he's sci-fi enough. Okay. Another fine one to the collection. A goal achieved, I'll say it that way. Not a collection goal achieved, but a goal achieved. Let's see how far we can go with this. Got a few 50th anniversary, got a few 25th anniversary, so we'll see how far this carries. But for now, that's Flash. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.